We're joined here by American Jason Johnson. Jason, welcome to Sprint Car World. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's always an honor to come back to Australia, and appreciate being back on the show.
Now, this season, you haven't run an entire World Series. Well, you're not going to run the entire World Series schedule, but you're running in the second spot. But you're not going to finish the series.
No, we kind of put together a package to come out and run 6 weeks, and our main focus is to get back to the States and get our series started, and we want to try and develop the Roush Yates 410 Ford a little bit more. So we're gunning to make it down to Florida this year. We could run 6 nights. I think I have a lot of their technicians there for that week, and just the way things worked out, you just got to go home.
It's unfortunate because, as I say, you've had a pretty good season, other than maybe the event at Murray Bridge where you didn't quite get to start the feature race, but overall pretty competitive year.
We always enjoy running World Series, no doubt, and to be second in points and not to be contracted, I guess hindsight, whether you contract or not, it is what it is. But it's definitely a good series. We enjoy racing, with the World Series guys each and every year, and definitely Speed Week's a lot of fun. We enjoy that part of this, the series and part of the year, and just couldn't say much about this HM racing team. They've done a good job all season long, and the results are putting up, so just keep striving.
When you rolled the car out for the first time, quite a few people sort of were up and down about the paint scheme, a new look for the car, but it's starting to grow on me.
It's just something a little bit different, Alan Haynes has now sold the business, and he's back to HM Racing where it first all originated, and to have GT Bobcats support and Dean's Autoglass from Western Australia, it was great for these guys to step up to the plate for this season to make this season possible, and just good group effort. The guys have been working their tails off all season long, and we had a lot of podium finishes and definitely had a lot of fun this year, and it makes it enjoyable to come down to Australia and race, and look forward to come back next season.
Now, this season, of course, you lost long-time crew chief from the Haynes Racing team. Did that affect the team at all?
It was a difference in change, no doubt. Brendan did a really good job while he was at HM Racing, and he's doing a really good job where he's moved on to now, and it just presented unique opportunities, I think, for both. He got the opportunity to be a full-time crew chief for a team in Australia that wanted a full-time crew chief, whereas we were kind of more recessed, just running 6 weeks. We didn't feel the need to need a full-time guy just for that position. So we brought Philip Dietz, our crew chief, back in the United States at JJR. We brought him out, and he's done a really good job. And I think it's really good for Philip to come out to Australia because it's so different and so unique of what we see in the American country and what we do back in the States. I mean, you see a lot of Americans come to Australia for the first time, and they really, really struggle, and it's just because it's so much different. The tracks are so round. A lot of the venues are flat. They rework the track all night, so it keeps you on your toes and making decisions to get the car right, and hopefully that betters his thinking process and makes him a better crew chief.
Now we're sitting here in the VIP room here at Warrnambool. Up on the wall, we've got the list of previous winners of this classic event. You came very close, driving for Darren Disbury. What would it mean to win this event?
Well, this is the Knoxville Nationals of Australia, and we felt like we had a great chance this coming year, to put ourselves in the right position. That's what it's about, is to be in the right position. And unfortunately, it didn't go our way. We didn't have the night we wanted last night, but to win, to win the classic would definitely mean the world. I mean, for any driver to win the big events, the most prestigious events of the year, is definitely an honor, and that stays in the record books forever. So, not saying we're out of it this year, but we're definitely going to keep digging, and hopefully we'll gather one of these classics.
Yeah, if you went home as the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic champion, do people in America realise how big this race is to us?
I believe the American racers, sprint car drivers, actually realize how big of an event this is. Obviously, you see it with the attendance of the Americans coming over wanting to compete. But from the fan standpoint, I really don't believe they actually realize how big of an event this actually is here in Australia. It's kind of like in Knoxville Nationals, until the Australian community comes out and actually visually gets to watch it and view it and see what's going on. I think it's overwhelming to anticipate what it's all about. So I'll tell you what, to come here and race for the Classic and just the crowd support and fan appreciation day, it makes it a lot of fun.
Now, you've been coming to Australia for a number of years now. You're probably the best American driver to ask this question. Should you be able to drive our Australian Sprint Car Championship, knowing that you do spend a lot of time here, you have spent a lot of time here? Should you be able to race our Australian Sprint Car Championship?
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, really. As a driver, personally, I'd be honored to run the Australian title, but theoretically, if you actually listen to the title name of the race, it's the Australian title. So how would it be for Americans to actually win that race? I guess the side of me that makes me feel bad is that I do have an Australian car owner, and he's very loyal, and Alan's been stood by my side from day one, and I just feel like because I am American, like not necessarily I let my team down, but I'm not presenting that opportunity for these guys to be A1 for the season, and it's hard to plug in an Australian guy for one or two races and expect extremely good results. So I really got to thank Alan for sticking by my side, and sorry we don't get to compete for A1, but if there's ever a day that we can make something different, it would be an honor to run it. But I understand where the Australian title comes from.
Because basically the Australians would like to see the car Australia won on the racetrack. The promoters have got a chance to promote an Australian champion if they're here every year. We've had a situation in the speed car title where the Americans can run, and there hasn't been an Australian champion from Australia for quite a few years. So that's the aspect you're coming from, that you think that the Australians deserve to have an Australian champion as an Australian?
There's no doubt. I think it's a unique concept. I think it's a fabulous race, and I think it's a great honor for an Australian racer to actually come out and to win that event and to carry that title for the season. Actually, I wish we actually did that in the United States, to be quite honest. I wish we went to the different venues like what you guys did and had an American race, and perhaps you could be A1 in America, whether it was Donnie Schatz or ourselves or Darren Pittman, whoever it is, to carry that number for the season. That, to me, that tells you're representing your country to the fullest, and you're definitely a winner and a contender day in and day out. So I think it's a great race. I think it has a great meaning behind it, and I totally understand it.
Now, as I was sitting here at the Classic, we're watching the crowd pour in. It's still early. This is just an amazing event to be part of, isn't it?
No doubt. I mean, the fan support that you receive here in Australia is really outstanding. We come from all the way around around the world from the United States, and to be accepted in a foreign country where the first time you come here you don't really know anyone, or you don't even know if they speak the same language or drive on the same side of the road, and to realize after 10 years of coming to Australia that you come here and there's people actually that look forward to seeing you and forward to meeting and catching up with you each and every year, and it's really overwhelming. You don't realize it to the point till you actually stop back and take it all in. And obviously with Facebook and the social media today, that they can stay in contact with what we're doing in the States, so it just really builds our Jason Johnson fan base, or your personal fan base, worldwide, really, and to receive the support that we get from Australia is just outstanding.
Yeah, we're going back on that. I'm from Adelaide myself, and used to run the USA 5 with Darren Disbury. We used to call you unofficial South Australian. That's how we have become accustomed to you coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, very first year I got to come out from Monty, and then actually, to be honest with you, when I come out from Monty, I didn't even know anything about World Series, and they taught me a little bit about it. And obviously, Schatz was driving the World Series car at that time, and I wanted an opportunity, and just wasn't a position available. And Jeff Shepard had come out, and unfortunately with his duties he had back in the States, he couldn't attend. He recommended me, and I got the opportunity to meet and catch up with Darren Disbury, and it just all clicked and it all worked. And I really got to thank the Disbury Family Racing team for bringing us out, and for the support and everything. For I believe we drove for him for 6 or 7 years, and then Alan steps up, where Darren's kids are growing older, and he's wanting to race with his kids, which is very understandable, which I might want to be that way someday. And Alan steps up and has provided a terrific opportunity for us to continue to come to Australia. It really means a lot to me, and I'm not one of the guys to jump around and drive for different teams. I like consistency, and the guys I know who I'm working with, and I really believe in the people who believe in our package. So What Alan Haynes has provided for us today is outstanding, and for what he's doing for us in the States, I think it says a lot about Australian support towards sprint car racing.
You're going back, you are going to run the Ford 410 power plant in America. How did all that come about, and what sort of schedule are you putting together?
Well, a few years back, I had the opportunity to start or in a position to start a race team. Just wasn't quite physically there and financially there, and Alan Haynes kind of stepped up and wanted to be a partner of it, and we started Jason Johnson Racing back in the States, and as time went on, it just kept building, and one of the thought processes is if we could surround ourselves by more perspiring people and keep bettering our program, that's why we want to continue on. And throughout the seasons, we, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. stepped up, and he actually drove a second car for us there at the beginning of the association. And as time went on, Ricky had an alliance with the Ford Motor Company, and through Roush Yates Racing Engines, they want to produce, a Ford racing engine, and it started off with a 360 package. We had a really great year in 2012 to win the ASCS title for Roush Yates and Ford, and one of the things that our goals were to put the 410 on the map and get Ford back in the 410 market. We wanted to achieve to be able to run the World of Outlaws and be competitive day in and day out, and not just be a contender, not just be a showmaker. We want to be a contender, and these guys are working their tails off. They're doing a really good job, and to have Ricky's support, on the United States side, and to have Alan's support from the Australian side, just couldn't ask for two better teammates at this time.
All the best with that, and the Ford 360 has been successful for you. We wish you all the best with that development and ongoing relationship here in Australia. Hope to see you back.
I tell you what, it's always a pleasure to come to Australia, and it's always an honor to actually come here and race, and in the wintertime when we're not racing a whole lot back in the United States. And probably owe the biggest opportunity, the biggest thanks is to Alan and Lisa Haynes for bringing us out from this point on, and built a great relationship and become good mates at the same time, and just living the moment right now, enjoying life.
Well, on behalf of your Australian fans and all this Speedway fraternity in general, thanks for coming out, and all the best, and hope to see you back in next year.
Thank you. We'll definitely be out.